Thank you for tuning back into the Walk On Pod. This is episode 26, where Jared with an early vino sip right off the bat. In the garage, you gotta love it. And,
Garage
I guess
vibes.
that's the tone we're setting.
yeah, that's
Wow.
where we're at. I mean, and Tom's on the road
For
again.
you guys that
Hotel
are
Tom.
watching, we had to move the wine fridge is now in the garage. It was in the living area, but now it's in the garage because there's holes in our house.
Yeah, that seems dangerous for your garage recording sessions.
Yeah, definitely.
Tom, where are we checking in from tonight?
Moscow, Idaho.
You gotta love it.
Dear
You have to
God,
love it.
I will
You
pray
have
for
to
you.
But yeah, man, I know we're all excited to get into it. I'm gonna kick it off with some great energy. These two, man, you guys should have seen the group chat earlier this week when these two were talking about Sacramento Kings basketball. I mean, if
I knew that's where we were
I
going first.
if I never knew this day would come, man, it was great to see. So I just want to kick it to you two for you to explain what you were telling me over text a few days ago.
If I'm being honest, I didn't realize that Ja didn't play.
Right.
So that plays a factor. But 30-piecing the Grizzlies is a huge accomplishment regardless. You know, you play who's in front of you, just like in the playoffs, right? There's like no excuses. So I do
Grizzlies are sometimes better without Ja.
Yeah, true. So that's a good
They're
point,
a
Tom.
way better defensive team.
I gotta give you guys props, Luke. I told you we've been talking about it over and over and over again, and like, hey man, like they look really good. Mike Brown is a great regular season coach, and I think he's put you guys in a great position.
I like
So,
that. Yeah.
so I
What do you
think.
mean? What do you mean by regular season coach?
Yeah. Let's talk about that. I feel like that was the jab.
It wasn't a jab. It's just like
Felt like a jab.
It felt like a jab.
yeah, maybe a body hook.
Okay.
You know, I just like I hope, like we talked about before, I hope that the Kings are good, and I hope they have success because it's good for Sacramento, and it's like I want to see them do well because, as much as I talk trash, like I was there when the Warriors were in the same position, so it's like the amount of time there was between Run TMC and We Believe, and then people don't realize that We Believe was like a one-off. Like they didn't make the playoffs. They missed the playoffs by 3 games the next season, and then they didn't make playoffs until 2000 and I want to say 12, maybe 11. It was like right after the lockout was when they made playoffs again, and then they got bounced first round, second round. Like the Spurs were working them. They lost the Clippers. Terrible series. Yeah, they beat the Nuggets with Andre Miller. That was their first playoff series. That was Steph's first playoff series win.
Yeah, he went crazy.
Yeah, but
that's when I knew.
Yeah, and that's when Iggy was with them. Iggy was on the Nuggets.
Yeah, Steph gave him the hug at half court, and the rest is history.
Yeah, but yeah, man. I think the other thing that I have, you know, it's funny, Luke. Not to dive too much or take too much time. When at night sometime, well, actually every night, me and Amanda watch our TV shows, and then the Kings are like the first thing on my YouTube TV because like basketball is like my main thing. So like I always flip the game on because it's late game, and usually it's like 9:15, 9:30 when Amanda goes to bed, and I'll watch like last 15, 20 minutes. And yeah, they look good. They look like, and like you said, like Fox just has whether it's confidence or just control or just like being mature, like he just looks way better and way more like in command out there. And I think that's like the big piece that you and I talked about is like when Fox decides to impact the game on multiple levels, they'll be good.
And I think that's the part of the trade that people don't really talk about is like they got rid of Halliburton, and that was basically the super green light for Fox. Like, this is your team. Like, that's how we need you to operate. So, and then obviously Sabonis is playing at a ridiculous level right now too. But it's all it's pretty good to watch. You know, as a Kings fan, it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, Tommy, how you feel?
My needle was moved, man. My needle was moved. I
like that.
It was good. It was just good hoops. They were beating the absolute beat out of the Grizzlies. and I was just impressed. Like Trey Lyles was sending Brandon Clark shots all over the court and then hitting transition threes and light the beam chants were breaking out with 7 minutes left. Like the crowd was just electric. I don't know. It reminded me of when the Warriors were young and up and coming. Just the vibe and the energy in the arena. Like you can tell it's a good young team. I think if they keep Fox and Sabonis and keep building around them, like they drafted well with Keegan Murray, he's really good. If they keep building, like they're going to be good for a while. And obviously, Sacramento has just been dying for the team forever. So it's electric in that arena. So.
That's like the other thing too. Like not like I don't think like people that listen to this. Maybe there's somebody listening to this that doesn't live in Sacramento. Like I don't think people really understand the gravity of like when you're the only professional sports team in town of that town. Like how OKC is or how we are, like how Green Bay is for the Packers, like people don't get that. Like I feel like or they don't appreciate it as much because like, big major cities have multiple professional teams. Whereas like Sacramento, it's like literally the River Cats and the Kings.
Right.
Yeah.
And like you have Sac Republic, but like they lost their MLS bid, so it's like it's literally the Kings are like the only show in town.
Yeah, and it
They're
hasn't.
definitely a show right now.
I was gonna say it hasn't been much of a show for years. So
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you put being like called the worst franchise in sport on top of that, and
Yeah.
it was tough. But yeah, I'd like to see them finish. We all know that like after the All-Star break is when real hoops really start to kick off. So
I think they're in a good position though. I still think they can
They've set
finish.
themselves up for
Yeah,
good
I think
success.
I don't see anybody. I mean, the Warriors aren't catching. The Warriors are going to have the playing game. That's like pretty much set in stone now. They still can't win on the road, so it's like,
I don't know.
yeah.
I think they'll finish higher in the playing game.
Really?
yeah, I'd hope
I think
so.
I think they're going to get 7. I mean, it's a pretty tight race.
Nah, I think they're gonna go on a run right now.
All right. Well, I hope you're more optimistic than me, but
No, I'm not very optimistic. You know I'm not.
they have some
Yeah, I was
very
about to say.
they have some very glaring holes. Like we saw
They
what
do.
happened.
They do.
Like they won the game against the Grizzlies, but like the matchups that were going on in that game the other night, I was killing
Bad.
myself. Like
Bad.
why?
They,
But
they need to make a trade. They have to. They need to they need to hit the buyout market hard, or make a trade.
You know who's
And
crazy? I was thinking about this for the Kings too. I don't know if it'll work for the Kings because like Rashawn Holmes is starting to like get back in the rotation and stuff. But like, I feel like Wendell Carter would be if the Warriors could pull it off. But I think the Magic are going to want too much. But they're so backloaded over there in bigs like Mo Bamba and
Yeah.
Wendell Carter and Mo Wagner. Like I feel like you can get one of them. Even Mo Wagner
Yeah.
wouldn't be bad because he spaces the floor well. That's what
it's
they
just
don't
like
have.
it's like I don't know. We don't need to talk about the Warriors for all the time, but they just Loon and Draymond have no they just don't have any backups. James Wiseman has played 58 games in 3 years.
Yeah, I feel like it's So but no. Shout out to the Kings, Luke. We marked the date. I think it was what the 25th. Is that the date we
23rd.
marked?
It was the 23rd.
23rd.
Yeah. The Dubs
Mark
won
it.
tonight, Jared, by the way. That's 2 in a row.
yeah, they did. I know.
They beat the Raptors, who the Kings lost to.
Yeah,
happens. But this I
better
wanted to,
matchup.
I wanted to segue this question. Is Mike Brown coach of the year right now?
Yeah, definitely.
I think the Nets coach.
I like
is-
Bickerstaff though. The Cavs look good.
Yeah,
I'm going Mike
mean,
Brown. It's
Mike
the
Brown-
Kings, man. It's the
I was gonna
Kings.
say,
They're the
I think
3
the
seed.
narrative. I think the narrative of the Kings actually being good and him being the catalyst for that is something that like
No, it's Mike Brown. Mike Brown.
Yeah. I'm not arguing with the pick. I was just playing devil's advocate. Like if I had
No.
to pick somebody else.
I think that's. I was thinking.
I would pick Jock Bond before Bickerstaff anyway.
That's fair, but like also
Bro,
like
the Nets were bad.
okay,
Yeah,
but
that
you gotta
was-
think
that's
about
what I
but
was gonna say,
the
too.
Nets talent level is high though. Like
They
you
were not
can't
playing good hoops.
But you can't sit here and say that the Cavs have more talent than the Nets.
No, they don't. But
So that's what I'm
Very-
saying is like if I'm coach of the year, like I'm looking at like how am I maximizing? Like Donovan Mitchell scored 70 points, bro.
Bro's playing like MVP level.
Like what? Like Danny Ainge wanted nothing to do with him. And then bro
Yeah.
scoring 70. Like that's a big deal to
Yeah.
me. Like,
Yeah.
but like that's like, I don't know. And like,
Wasn't it 71?
huh?
Wasn't it 71?
I mean, yeah, okay.
He had to one
76.
up. Nah,
think
he
he
had
meant
to
like
one up
a
D-Book. He had to
milestone.
one up D-Book. He had to one up D-Book.
And they won. So
Yeah, and they won. Yeah, trust me. The game that D-Book scored 70, that was not a win. That was a very ugly game. I watched every minute of that game. Yeah, no, I mean Mike Brown's a good call, and Mike Brown's won Coach of the Year before, and actually there was an article they were just talking about. Oh man, I'm spacing now, but he was giving someone credit that we know. I can't remember now.
No.
But yeah, no, I mean it's good for them to be. We want them to be good. It's
Yeah.
just funny to make fun of them because they've been so bad.
I know.
Yeah.
It's super funny, hilarious. Some say.
You like
All-Star-
pain, Luke. That's all good.
I mean, hey, I'm still here, right?
Yeah, that hip, man. I'm telling you.
I'm still here though. So we wanted to talk about the All-Star starters also, because they were finally announced. I feel like the
Yeah.
biggest controversy is the Embiid.
Which I don't understand.
Okay, so how would you go about it?
I think it's fine how it is. Like, it's like whether you start or whether you come off the bench, it doesn't change. Like that's an ego thing. And it's like Embiid is very good, and Embiid's the best at his position, but like neither of you, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, are taking Embiid over the other three right now. Like
I mean,
I'm
my only
like,
thing is KD's not healthy.
well, yeah.
So-
So then Embiid will probably start anyways. So it's like everybody's making a big old deal about it, and it's like it's just because the NBA wants something to talk about. But it's like if I'm starting a team today, I'm taking those three over Embiid every time.
Yeah.
Like it's not close to me, and it's like Embiid has won nothing. Jason Tatum just played in the finals. Kevin Durant has been in the finals and won the finals MVP, and Giannis has won and won finals MVP. Like Joel Embiid has never been to the finals. So it's like,
So what do you think about all the people complaining that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander wasn't a starter?
Yeah, that was my other one too.
I mean Luka and Steph, like I think that's like probably a recency, like that's probably like or not recency bias, it's like a pedigree thing.
Yeah.
Like and plus Shai plays in Shai plays in OKC, where
OKC.
yeah, it's like and they're terrible. They're not bad, but like you know
He's
they're
putting up
not.
numbers though.
Yeah, I mean we said that in the last episode. Like I think he's definitely got to be in there. Like even over some of the other people that may normally make it. Like Dame is making a hard push right now. He dropped 60 on
Yeah, I was about to say.
29 shots. Like what? Like bro, after all
It's
that talk
ridiculous.
Tim Patrick Beverly had, like shut up, bro. Is there a way?
Yeah.
Like I said in the group chat, like is there a way to mute him in real life? After the starting five like debacle, and then now we're talking to Dame.
It must be the starting five thing. That must have like
it's like
I don't know.
following him. It's like an omen.
Like how dare he?
Yeah, but like, I mean, I feel like the starters are fine. There's been like a lot of talk of like what should change and what shouldn't change. And did you see that they're doing the draft live?
Yeah,
That's
they said
pretty
it's like
cool.
it's
That's
of
pretty
the day
cool.
of the game. They said or no
Something
It's
like that. Yeah.
an hour. Before
I
the game or
didn't see
something.
this.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
they're
so it's gonna be
they're
like a real
it's
life
not like a
pickup game.
special. Yeah, it's not like the special like they did last time where they pre-recorded it. It's like literally show up. Here's the 10 guys. Like, oh, I got so and so. Oh, I got so and so. Oh, I got so and so. Yeah.
I mean, they didn't pre-record it last year. They just did it before the game.
No, they pre-record like, but it was a pre-recorded like
It was like
thing.
days in advance. Or
It
It
wasn't
was?
live. Yeah, it wasn't live.
Oh, I thought that they just did it live on TNT.
No,
I mean, it might have been
that was
live. It might have been live, but it wasn't like the day of the game. Like they're
No,
saying this is
yeah,
gonna be
it
like
was
a
live
pickup.
though. It wasn't pre-recorded.
Yeah, I think it was.
Oh,
live
maybe
on,
I
like,
maybe
Inside the
I read
NBA
it
or whatever.
differently. Okay.
It
Maybe I
was
read
just like it was just like TNT.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah, but it didn't
LeBron
happen
and
the day of the
KD were
game.
just
though.
like zoomed in or something.
I think it's gonna add like a little if this is true because I saw a couple of tweets about it too, but I didn't know how valid it was. But it'll literally be like a pickup game. Like, you know, when
Yeah.
someone gets picked ahead of you, like right in front of you, and you know that's your matchup, like that's gonna change things. Like it really will.
I think the other thing too is like they should just. Someone mentioned this in the article that I was reading, the ESPN article. They were talking about it. They should just do away with positions completely. That's what I think. Like
Okay.
just five guys. Like because like if you're playing pickup, right? If we're playing pickup, the three of us, right, and we have, let's say, like Joel Embiid and Giannis on our team, like those are the other two guys of our five, right? Like if Giannis wants to bring the ball up the court, like we're not going to say no, you're not the point guard. Or if Embiid wants to bring the ball up the court in an all-star game, I mean, like all-star game situation, like I would rather just have the five best players so far in the season on each conference.
Okay. So you think that would, and then overall it would probably
Like
even
if
out.
Yeah, and then I would change the voting too, where it's like, okay, like don't let the like what we talked about last time. The fans get to vote like one person, or they get to vote the captain or whatever. But it's like you said, it's a pickup game. Like if I want to have Giannis and LeBron playing the one, and have Giannis at the two, and like it's like playing when you used to draft your team on 2K, right?
Yeah.
Like you would do that, you know. So I think like it should just be the five best players like that are healthy and that have had the best seasons. It shouldn't matter like position, like because I'm gonna mess this up and I don't feel like looking it up. But like it was like you can only have two guard reserves and two forward reserves, or however it's set up. It's like 3 and 3,
Yeah.
or like you like maybe there's not enough bigs to warrant, like you don't need 3 centers on the All-Star team.
I mean, I don't know.
I
I
guess
see what
that's
you're saying, but it's just
like
gonna.
it's gonna
tough,
get
though.
yeah. I mean, it becomes a popularity contest, I think, either way. But like, I feel like people get caught up in the positions too much. All NBA teams totally understand should be positional, but
Yeah.
like All-Star game, it's like if you're like Luke, if you're picking your best 5 players in the NBA, they're not gonna be guard, forward, center.
Right.
I'm with Jared.
No, I don't. I don't disagree. I think it's an interesting thought, but I just don't. I don't think we'll ever get to that point. Honestly, like you're already seeing problems with the whole Embiid thing. Like it's like,
I know, which is like again, it's just like okay, dude, KD's not gonna play. You're gonna start. Like,
yeah,
did you see the tweet battle that's going on when he did the
Triple
Degeneration
H?
X? Yes.
That was so funny.
Yeah.
I
That
could
was
not
fine
stop
for it, too.
laughing.
That was awesome.
He's so funny.
Yeah, he's
Joel?
hilarious.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Yeah, it's too bad he doesn't back it up and win the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean that's what happens when you foul grift. But
Yeah.
it's any player that plays like that never wins the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
I
think you're
mean,
wrong.
but again, no hate. Like if the Sixers are competitive, it makes the playoffs more exciting.
Yeah,
Because like the Celtics are kind of reeling right now. I don't know if they won tonight, but they had lost 2 in a row. So
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's interesting.
yeah. What do you think that I saw another thing. Someone said they should expand it to 15 players. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I mean,
no,
for
I don't think
what?
so.
I don't think so.
I don't like it either.
Because it's basically just gonna like take the value of being selected an all-star.
That's what I was
Right.
gonna say. Yeah,
Yeah.
waters it down.
Yeah,
So it's
waters
like-
it down. It's like everybody gets a medal, like or everybody gets a trophy
Yeah.
type thing again.
It's like
It's like-
participation ribbon
Yeah.
vibes.
Like like 30 guys. You can't like 30 guys.
Adding 6 more players is just dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
No,
not
It's like
I'm not a fan
supposed
of
to be
all that.
the elite of the elite for a reason.
Yeah. 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 No,
And then it's just like you got to play 15 guys in the game. Like
yeah,
won't be
dude,
as
that's like,
entertaining, like-
yeah, exactly. That's the other thing is like the games are already ugly as they are.
Yeah.
It's getting worse.
Yeah.
Man, speaking of all stars, I know this is way off topic, but the Pro Bowl is 2-hand touch now and stuff.
What is it really?
I think so, isn't it?
I've never watched one Pro Bowl in my
never,
life.
Well-
I've never like actually sat and watched the Pro
No,
Bowl
me
before.
neither. But because last year's was horrible. I was seeing a bunch of stuff on like Twitter and stuff where like Literally, it was basically two-hand touch, and the ref was just like downing the ball every single time a pass was caught and stuff. And I think they actually officially ruled it to like flag or two-hand touch or something.
Yeah, I feel
I
like
mean, if it was flagged, that'd be better.
yeah, football's not like football's too violent. It's not a sport you can have like an exhibition game.
Also,
Like dudes are just out there trying to kill each other.
Yeah.
well,
Like-
then when there's no, I know there's no incentive in basketball, is there? There might be a monetary incentive.
No,
but-
just like so the short version is yes. If you make an all-star team or in your first 3 years in your rookie contract, you get eligible for the super max. So
Mm.
it's an extra like 40 mil.
So what if is there an incentive for the team that wins it?
No, not at all. It's
So-
not like
so-
baseball.
I was gonna say baseball is the only major sport that's like that, then, huh?
Yeah, exactly. And that's because the baseball game was getting so terrible.
I mean,
So
I
I
think
was
that's a
like-
cool rule, but
For baseball, it's cool because there's less playoff teams and because there's like it's more of a like positional thing, right? Where it's like there's a like if I'm the all-star third baseman, like I'm gonna get my at bats and if I do my job and if I hit well, like you know what I mean? Whereas like basketball, it's like I could be LeBron, I could be the best player on the team and I may not get MVP. I may only shoot like 10 times, you know.
right.
So, yeah, I saw that, but yeah, they've been talking about like doing away with the dunk contest or fixing the dunk contest. I really like the one-on-one game for money.
Yeah, that would actually be sick.
That would be like really tight.
Just
I
straight
feel,
once.
I feel like dudes would like really buy into that too. Like you could
think so,
get
too.
like the best players to do that, which is the other beef that I have with the dunk contest is like the best dunkers don't do it anymore because they're like scared.
Yeah.
Like LeBron's never been in a dunk contest. Like, bro, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, that's not
I
okay.
mean, he
Like,
said so many times he was gonna do it and stuff too. back in the
bro,
Dwight
he's scared
years.
to lose because like Kobe didn't lose, right? Kobe won, and like MJ won, but
I
MJ
could still
won.
do it.
But
MJ
MJ lost
lost.
1 year. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like, bro, you can't be scared to like lose. Like everybody loves LeBron. He would win
He would.
probably.
I don't think he would win. I mean, he might win off of what
I'm
you're
talking
saying.
about
He
like
might win.
Miami. I'm talking about like Miami LeBron.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He's not. Mac McClung got to win this year.
That'd be crazy.
Tom, I know you had one more NBA.
Oh
topic.
yeah. I mean, I was just gonna ask, like, I don't know if you guys have been seeing like the ESPN posted. It was like, I guess this week was like NBA rivalry week or something. Like
Didn't know.
ESPN posted a graphic and like one of them, I saw one. It was like Jalen Brunson and like Kyrie were facing each other. And like someone tweeted, they were like, "Oh yes." Like harkening down the memory lane of the Jalen Brunson, Kyrie Irving battles, like love rivalry week or something. I don't know. It was funny. My question was like, do you guys think there are like any real rivalries in the NBA right now?
Without playoff series, there's not. So
I'm talking about two teams. Like, do you think there are two teams in the NBA right now that like they play? They're like, yeah, I got to sit down and watch because this is a rivalry.
I
think
mean, you
Warriors
could,
Grizzlies is getting there.
maybe, but like it's not though because it's so one-sided.
Yeah, the Grizz never win though.
Yeah, like
It's
they
so
never
exciting
win.
to watch, though.
Oh yeah, no, totally. But a rivalry, you have to have back and forth.
Like
I saw the
Clay,
stat-
like Clay the other day said that it's not a rivalry because we always win, but he was like, the Cavs, we were a rivalry because they beat us. Like they stopped us from getting a championship. Like that was a
Yeah.
rivalry.
But even then, they only won one time, so it's
Right.
like, I think, yeah, no, I mean,
That doesn't. But
the
to me,
the Suns Mavs energy from last season is interesting, but like it hasn't lived up to it, like in the regular season so far.
yeah,
Like
I don't know. I
and
feel like
the,
I
and
feel
the
like there's
Celtics Bucks is not there. Like
Yeah,
the
I would
Celtic
agree.
like Celtics Nets or like Nets and Sixers played the other night, and this it like Ben Simmons gets booed. Okay, great. Ben Simmons gets booed everywhere.
The Warriors are just they're just the best show on earth, man.
It's
think
you
they're-
know
people
go
hate
ahead,
them.
Tom.
Like
Yeah.
I think they're just like notorious at this
I
point.
think it's just hard because not everybody plays every game. That's another thing that's been going on right now, right? Is like there's no way to have like if I only play half the games of our teams competing, like how can we have a rivalry?
Yeah.
Like if Ja and Steph played each other, let's say 15 times over the last 3 years, that would be like legit, right? But like I don't think that's the case.
Well, that's
not.
kind of what I was gonna say. I was gonna say like I feel like the blood has to be bad for it to be a rivalry, and like the other ones you
True.
brought up, like I don't feel like it's like real bad blood. So I feel like the Grizzlies and the Warriors, like it's the closest to bad blood rivalry, even though it is one sided. But I feel like the like mutual
The
hatred for being on the
Yeah,
court
they for
with each
surely
other.
hate each other.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
like
the Clippers, the Warriors series,
yeah,
that like the Chris Paul Clippers when Steph started to like really like that's when everybody was like Chris Paul point guard, Chris Paul point guard, and then Steph was like, hold on a second,
Yeah.
and like he was on his come up. Like they still lost, they hadn't won yet, but like 2012, 2013, 2014, like those were gnarly games,
Yeah.
yeah.
and that
Steph
wasn't
used to
like
pull.
bro, that's when Steph did the little dribble through
Yeah.
three people and Spencer
Yeah.
High, like, bro, what? And then he made Chris Paul popcorn, like,
Yeah,
There's been some good ones with the Warriors, the Cavs.
yeah.
The Thunder was a fun one.
The Thunder and Spurs was solid.
Spurs.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, the
just-
Grizzlies have always been a good one too. Like they struggled with them in the playoffs.
Yeah, they beat him in the playing game, all
15.
that, blah blah blah. But
well, I also feel like now, like a lot of people kind of just hate the Grizzlies. Like, there's
because
a lot
John
of
never
people.
stops talking.
Well, he doesn't stop talking, but I don't feel like he's like as serious about it. Like, I feel like he's like playing into it. I don't know,
It's
but
Dylan
Dylan
Brooks.
Brooks, everyone hates Dylan Brooks.
It's
Dylan
just his
Brooks,
face,
bro.
bro. It's his face. He's got a Grayson Allen face.
Bro said
I
he
mean,
has a
like
Grayson Allen face.
Brooks called Shannon Sharp a pedestrian. Like
Yeah, he called him a
he's just
casual,
asking
bro.
to be hated.
Okay, but on that note, Shannon Sharp should just shut up and watch the game, though.
Yeah, but you know he's not going to.
Yeah,
I
but
know,
it's
but, like-
Shannon Sharp. Like
Okay, but you can, bro. Okay, but we talked about this. Like, you want that energy. Okay, when Steven Adams stepped up, you didn't want that energy.
nah, he
that's-
stood 10 toes. I disagree. He stood right there.
I don't know.
You watch
Steven
go watch the
Adams-
video. Steven Adams.
He
pulled
wasn't.
up and Shannon
He
Sharp
wasn't
stood right
woofing.
in his
He wasn't
face.
woofing like that. He directed this way to T.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. You got to go watch the tape because Steven
I
Adams
did
pulled
watch the
up.
tape.
Steven Adams pulled
Watch
up and
the
Shannon
tape
Sharp was
of a
still barking.
sideline dispute. This is crazy.
I just, yeah. I mean, when you look at Grayson Allen, you just want to punch him in the face. I feel like a lot of people feel that way about Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, no, I'm not a Dylan Brooks fan. I don't really hate him, but it's just like I'm
I
not.
look at his jumper and I get mad.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
because he falls through like
bro.
this.
Well, he has T-Rex arms, bro. You know his arms are like OD short.
That must be a Grizzlies thing because Desmond Bain, that was his knock coming into the league that his arms were too
Well,
short.
that was
His arms
Dylan
are
Brooks.
Crazy.
That was Dylan Brooks' knock too.
Yeah, and they
His-
drafted both
his-
of them. They're like, oh, short arms, we want those guys.
I mean, Desmond Bane's gonna burn her. So
Clearly, like,
Desmond
yeah,
Bane's really good.
yeah,
shout out to the TCU Horned Frogs there. You know,
yeah. They're good
Good
now.
football school.
Yeah, well for basketball school, they're ranked. They just smacked Kansas.
that was yeah.
The Big 12 has 5 teams in the
I
top
was,
15.
I was literally about to say something about
That's
that.
crazy.
And they've been having some crazy games too.
Yeah.
Good bump. BYU is going to do really well out there.
I'm
For people
excited.
that
Good place
don't
to
know,
play.
yeah, for people that don't know, the place where BYU plays, the Marriott Center, is actually bigger than the Utah Jazz's arena.
Well,
It seats
what-
more people.
what
and
I
fills
wild in
up
there.
more.
What I always tell people too is like the production of it feels like an NBA game. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't. I've played on opening night at McHale Center, and like obviously that's a bunch of people and it's loud, but it still feels like a college game. The BYU home crowd feels like an NBA game. Like
Yeah.
it's so professionally
Totally.
done. It's crazy.
Yeah, they do
Yeah, it was
not.
wild.
They do not mess around.
No, it's
Nah,
not.
it was actually insane.
Yeah, even if you go to, I've been to practice, so I went to practice when I was out there, the BYU practice, and like, it's even the same thing. Like everything's done super well, and like
Yeah.
all the big time alumni, they go to practice.
Well, see, I think that's why the Big 12 move is
It's
probably in line. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure those values align more with that conference, but
So we were talking about NBA basketball, talk about rivalries, things like that. I wanted to kind of get your guys' take on.
I know both of you heard, I don't know if everybody else heard, JJ Redick was on a podcast and was talking about how Coach K had met with him after his sophomore year and said that like he was the reason they didn't win a championship in college, and how that kind of shifted his mentality and like made him feel a certain way. And I think like most of the people that play high school basketball, they really, really want like to play at a high level, like play, for Duke or play for, some team that's like ranked Kansas or any, Kentucky into that. But I think like the other thing that's tough that people don't take into account is the pressure and the struggle and the expectations in sports in general. Like everybody wants to be number one tennis player in the world, but like, do you really want that pressure of being number one tennis player in the world and like everyone watching your every move and everyone criticizing everything you do? And I think playing at a high level like looks like a game of like glamour, but like it's super mentally taxing. And when JJ was in college, he was like public enemy number one, and like had a ton of weight on his shoulders, and the reaction from the fans and being in, like, we were talking about rivalry, like that's a real rivalry, and like then you have like the expectation of the coach. So like I feel I want to know what you guys think as far as like, is it something that like you have to like that's in like born in you to just like handle it, or do you think it's like something that's learned, or you think it's something that like you have to take with a grain of salt if like if that's the path you take?
Um, I mean, I think that's a pretty loaded question, honestly. But I honestly think like when you talk about in history, like the greats and everything, it's the way they like attack those opportunities. Like instead of looking at it as like a yeah, I'm under the spotlight, like I know I'm gonna be in scrutiny, like all of this, like it's more of okay, like take the tennis example for you, like you said number one tennis player in the world when you go to the next Grand Slam, like this is a chance for me to prove why I'm number one in the world rather than like I'm gonna be under all this scrutiny. And so I feel like that's what ultimately separates like the people who stay in those positions and are the greatest versus like people who are mentioned and then are kicked out of the next news cycle, kind of.
Yeah. Colin, what you think?
I don't know. I think it's tough. That's just it's a lot of pressure on you, and that's a pretty heavy comment that Coach K said to JJ. But that definitely fueled him to make him the player that he was. I think I'm the one who sent the clip in.
Yeah.
He said later, like on in that clip, that he never won a championship, but like he was always playing, like he knew in his mind he was always playing the right way and playing for like playing to win a championship, and like he knew what it takes to win a championship even though he never won it. And he
Yeah.
did it, like, and then that we get into all the off season work he did. We talked about it with Cam. Like that dude was a psychopath.
Yeah. And he said like it was the best, well, worst and best thing a coach ever said to him.
Right,
Which
right.
like I don't think, but see, I don't think he gets enough credit. Is like you got to be able to not only like I think how you respond to that comment.
That's what I was just gonna say.
Yeah,
Being able to take that is like
yeah, and not take it personally, and that's where
pretty
like
impressive.
yeah, that's where people in general, in all walks of life, even in like business outside of sports, like you have a job to do, and you're making X amount of dollars to do that job. When someone tells you that like you're not doing it well or you need to do it better, like most people just like take it super defensively. And I think like what you said, Tom, is I think the great ones, like they want to be coached hard. Like they talk about Kobe, like Kobe Tex Winter, like coached him hell hard. Like Phil Jackson coached him hard. Like, you know, MJ, same thing. Like Phil Jackson coached him super hard. Like these dudes like wanted to be coached hard.
Yeah,
And
I
I think,
mean,
oh, go
I was
ahead.
just gonna say, like, that's how you get better.
Yeah. But a lot of guys don't want that though.
I think you just have to get. I mean, a lot of guys don't want it, but I think you have once you understand that, like Jared, you and I have talked about surrounding yourself with people, like if you're a coach, to disagree with you, so you can build on their ideas and build like well, once people get like that, it has to be hard to get better. Like that's what, like once you grasp that idea, that's when you can succeed like fully.
Yeah.
And I don't think like you're saying a lot of people don't like it. I just don't think a lot of people understand that. I think people coach them hard and don't like it.
Yeah. I think like well, and I can say, and again, this is my own personal experience. Like, I think that's why both of you have had so much success because there was never a point where I said something like had these really hard conversations with you guys, or I got in you and like really like yelled at you and stuff like that. Like, there was never a time where you guys like took it personally, or you guys had that face of like deer in the headlights, where like, oh my gosh, this person's yelling at me, you know, like it was like, okay, you're right. And it's
Yeah.
not that I know everything, like by any means. That's not what I'm saying. It's just like someone that cares about you and cares about your success is gonna like that really cares is gonna hold you to a high standard. And I feel like that's the other thing that happens to like a lot of guys in the NBA and probably NFL and like any professional or like high level sports is like the people are so scared to like like fracture their relationship or like lose traction in their standing with that high level player that they just like they're scared to like say what really needs to be said.
Right. And speaking for myself, like Luke can say whatever he thinks. Like I knew when you were like having those conversations with me. Like I remember one specific one. I played really bad. You came to what? You didn't come to many of my games. And I played really bad at one of the games that you came to.
Yeah, you guys
And
lost to Rockland.
well,
Darius.
that one, yeah, but there was another one my junior year. There was another one my junior year that you came to,
Mm.
and it was Capital
So Steve,
Christian.
so
We
wait,
won.
who was the head coach though?
Sandy was head coach,
Okay, yeah,
but
yeah.
we won, but I didn't play well, and we had a conversation the next morning, and I don't remember specifically what was said, but like you were being hard on me, rightfully so, but I didn't take it as, oh, this guy's being a dick. Like I took it as he cares, like he wants to see me be better, and I think that's the disconnect. Is when people get coached up hard like that, they're like, oh, whoever is saying this to me is just being a jerk, blah blah. Not they actually want to see me succeed. I have to hear this so I can grow.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Thanks for
think.
bringing
Yeah.
up the other loss, though.
Oh,
Yeah, I
sorry.
was
Well,
about to say
I
that
just
was like
remember.
an ass move.
Hey, that wasn't an ass move. I thought that's what he was talking about, dead serious, because Tom, like, I guess it doesn't matter because he'll never probably listen to this, but like, Luke, like, when I was after you know how I roll at the games, Luke,
I was just,
right?
I mean, I
Yeah,
felt like
yeah,
last weekend.
no, but you know how I roll, like, as far as like how I roll into the game,
Oh, a real incognito.
yeah, like literally like this, walk to the top of the bleachers. And like no one knows who I am or who like I look probably like a serial killer up there.
Is this home
Uh,
or away? Because you
this
came
is
to both.
home. This is
Okay.
home. And like, so I'm laughing at this now. So like Tommy's coach his senior year, he was not a good coach. And he is only there for 1 year, clearly, because he wasn't a good coach. But I'll never forget after the game, like Tommy comes out and Tommy and I are having the same conversation that Luke and I had the
Oh
other
my
day.
gosh, I
Yeah.
forgot about this.
And this dude, so this coach, right? The head coach, he's like mean mugging me because I'm talking to Tom. And so I make eye contact with this dude and I keep eye contact while I'm having this conversation with Tom. Like I'm talking to Tom right here, but I'm looking at this dude like this while I'm talking to Tom the entire way he walks out the
Forgot about
door.
this. This was on my senior night too.
Yes. And he was like so distraught that he didn't know who I was. He had never seen me before, but he was like, who is this person talking to my point guard? It's like, bro, I'm the reason like you have a point guard.
Yeah,
It's like I felt disrespected. And so I was making sure he knew with my eye contact that don't F with me. Come over
and
here, see what what's up.
I think he asked me who
He
you were.
did. He did.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I
like in a
wanted-
very aggressive, like intrusive way.
Yeah, we can. He'll. I hope he never listens to that.
Nah, if he can, he can still see me.
Okay.
We could. We could.
Oh.
Yeah, we could. Oh man, I could. Move on. Move
Yeah.
on.
No, I'll finish up my thoughts on this, and then I have a funny story. But I I think Jared and I have had countless, if you people want to say difficult conversations, which I've never thought they were difficult. And it's funny because like we've known each other for so long now that some of them, Jared will be like, like it's all out of love, right? I'm like, Jared, can you stop? Like, shut up, dude. Like, you
Yeah,
don't
I
have
did
to
say that
say
today.
that. You said it on Saturday. I said, bro, get off my phone. Like, you think I really like am in my feels? Because 99% of the time I agree with everything he's saying. It's just like I gotta do it type thing, and
Yeah.
it's
But Luke is
hilarious.
also, before you move to the next part, Luke is also the person that if he feels truly a certain way about like a specific play or a specific situation, he's not shy to let me know. Like he interrupts and jumps, like he jumps the gun. Like I don't even get to finish my point. It's like, no,
Yeah.
no, no. Look, this is what happened. So and so was doing this, and then I'm like, look, bro, just shut up and listen to what I have to say. I
Yeah,
drove out
but
here
I
to
also
watch this game.
I also don't think that our relationship is always like that. I feel like that
No,
probably
it's
didn't
not.
happen until like senior year of high school,
No,
realistically.
totally. Hell no. Yeah.
Because Jared
No.
used to be like, bro, do you even like? I'll just be like, I got you, and he'd be like, I know you got me, but like, fight back. I'm like, why? That was really good. I feel like because Jared, he's yelled at me plenty of times, but like he'd yell at me and then he'd look at me and he's like, "You got it?" And I was like, "Yeah, got it." Like, what do you mean?
I would
And he'd
just
be
look
like,
at Jared with a blank face, and he'd be like, "Are you gonna?" He's like, "Don't give me that face."
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd just
Bro,
I
be
it's
like,
said
right
some
so
here.
choice.
funny.
I said some choice words. Yeah.
He'd just be like,
Yeah.
he'd be cussing me out, and I'd be like, and he'd be like, "Don't." He's like, "Let's fix that. Don't give me that face." I'm like, "All right, bro, relax."
Well, it's the funniest time during trainings too, because I've seen Tom do this as well. He'll like get on us about like whatever it is, and then we'll go do exactly what he asked us to do right after, and he's like, "All right, let me shut up." Like, he's like, "Oh, you
Yeah.
got it."
Yeah. Well, you're the king of that though.
Well, now I am at this point.
Yeah.
I feel like I can pull the vet card, but even growing up, like I would be struggling with something, and you'd be like, "Luke, this is what you got to do," and then like the next rep, I would do it. I remember specifically hezzy pull-ups at 24.
Oh
Like we were
God.
in there for like 45 minutes. I finally got it.
Ah.
You were on my ass that day, and I was in like 7th grade doing hezzy pull-ups from the top of the key.
Did hang dribbles, man.
Bro,
Bro, he
I
was
was
like,
like, this little unathletic shooter is gonna figure out how to hang the ball.
it was so
He couldn't
funny,
do the
bro.
footwork right. It was hilarious to
No, and then I
watch.
finally did, and he was like, "See, well, actually, what happened was you videotaped me and then showed me, and then the next rep I did it right after I watched it." And
And then
you
I
were
felt
like,
like I was a real. That's when I felt like I was really him.
"Wow, you got this
Nothing
suburban
like a
kid
good
probably
old
doing
skip,
hezzy
skip
pull-ups."
Hey,
hesitation hang dribble.
hey, you know what? I have a new line now. I hope
Oh
you guys.
gosh.
No, I have a new line. No,
Yeah, we got
no, no,
about a month before we get hit with the one-liners
no, no.
again.
This isn't to you guys. This is to like the high school kids. I got a new line. I tell like when stuff like that happens, I look at the kid, I stop and I shake my head. I was like, man, I need a raise. And I use some choice words before raise. I was like, I'm about to tell your dad, I'm about to charge you more money.
That's so disrespectful because you know that they're like nervous going back in
No,
the
and then I
car. Like,
doubled no, but then I doubled down, be like, and I'm gonna tell him it's coming out of your allowance.
I just be forgetting that. I just be
Bro.
forgetting what it was like the first time I went to training. Like, it's just like Jared's just like a brother now. He's not like, yeah,
Yeah,
I obviously
like
respect his opinion and
oh,
he's a trainer,
Tom,
but
bro,
like,
the first time Jared told me we were playing 101, I think I was in 7th grade, and
oh
it was the scariest moment of my life. Like I
yeah,
was like, what? In like clearly, me and Jared were like cool trainer player relationship, but we were not like friends at all.
no.
Like,
And plus that was back when I was still playing all the time.
yeah, you were still not you now. You were still
Yeah.
agile. You were
Yeah, I
what you
was
think you
still
are now.
yeah,
And
that's his
exactly.
dad.
Totally.
That's what it is.
and I
No,
was a child. I was like 5 years old
bro,
as a 7th grader. And
I
Jared's
can
like, "All
remember
right,
that
check up."
day. We were on
Oh,
the
what do you
side.
mean
We were
check
on the
up?
side
Yep.
court. The
Over
side
on the
court at
far
24 on
left.
the far left, bro. Tommy, when you talk about fouling, I will tell you right now, I was fouling the shit out of him.
He was a
Well,
I was-
seventh grader, bro.
I
What's
was
your problem?
I was forearm chucking him.
Well, no, because I actually remember exactly what happened. I hit like a rager for a 7th grader, like super half court at 24. And he was like, "No, you're driving the ball." And then every single time I got in the key, boom, he's like, "Stay on your feet." I was like, "Bro, I don't want to do this anymore."
It sounds like me and Drake
It
playing
was
mini hoop,
so
and I'm just
funny,
getting bullied.
I can literally remember that day because Luke was
bro. It
so
was nuts.
tiny. Like I had to get so low to hit him in the hip and not clip him in the chin.
Bro.
You're a dick, dude.
Of course, yeah, duh.
No, I loved it. I loved it. It was fun. I mean, I don't remember being upset after. I just remember being like scared
Yeah, like,
during it,
whoa.
like scared
This guy was.
shitless.
This
Like,
is like low key child abuse. What was going on in there?
Well, and
the
then,
worst was
he
no,
was
go
about
ahead.
to take off again in like a year. So like when we're talking about like he was still doing it, yeah, he literally went and played professionally like a year after that. So it was like real.
Yeah, it was bad. That was bad. The worst one I'll shout out. You still talk to RJ Tom or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe RJ listens to this. The worst was his sister, Soraya Smith. Reggie, so for people who don't know, Soraya Smith was a very, 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 very good basketball player, Sacramento area in high school. She ended up playing Division One. Her dad played in the NBA for a little bit. Reggie, his son played with Tommy. That's how we know him.
My boy.
His dad their dad would come in and be like, "Hey man, whatever you got to do, like just get her head right."
I've heard
And
this one before.
she was such a pill. Like she was such a pain in the butt that I would get mad. I'd be like, whatever we were doing, I would just stop the drill. I'd be like, all right, contact finishes. And I would literally get the pad and I would level her. Like she would go horizontal. And her dad would just sit there and watch and just like unfazed.
I can imagine the Reggie list.
Yeah.
Look.
Like, and she hated it. I know she hated it. She probably hates me to this day. But
I feel like you got
it's
a
like,
long list of those.
Hey,
yeah,
that's okay.
oh man, that list is so much longer than people that love me. And it's okay.
Yeah, but it's the strength that we love you, you know.
Yeah. Hey, oh my gosh. Yeah, Soraya Smith. She got it the worst. So I'm sorry, Soraya. Looking back on it now, I have daughters. I'm sorry.
Tom, you were never at 24 with Jared, huh?
No, Tom never
Those were
hit the
some of the
24.
grimiest hours with
I'm
Jared.
strictly a sport court guy, man.
We're talking, bro. Like there were times when me and Jared would be out there with like 8 feet of room in a hoop, like, and then Tweedledum is over here getting his cardio in while we're trying to work
Yeah,
out.
you guys
Bro.
are really getting after it.
Or it used to be when I used to train the Vista freshman team, and it had like all the homies, and it was like, yeah, it was. Oh man,
Luke was in 7th grade at the time. Shit, I was running
Well, I
around
started with-
elementary school, not knowing what I was doing with my life.
Yeah, listen, bro. I don't want to get into that. We were talking about ages, and I know we're way off the path right now, but we were talking about how old I am in the locker room last week. It's so bad. Our freshman was like, "Bro, what year did you graduate?" It was like 2017. It's like, "Bro, I was in 7th grade." Okay, we can move on.
Yeah.
That's wild.
bro, it's
Yeah.
bad, bro. It's so bad.
So try to get back on track here, because we could just talk about my discretions as a bad person all day, probably.
No,
but
but the whole message behind this was
Yeah.
like that was all out of love. Like you did that,
Yeah.
and we were receptive to it because we knew it was out of love. You
yeah,
weren't gonna go
I
into
mean,
that.
yeah,
We weren't
JJ,
Jared's
okay.
still a douche for everyone
Yeah.
listening.
yeah, it's okay. JJ
I'm trying to
was
give him
player.
his props.
But yeah, I'm good with it. I'm okay with who I am. JJ was player of the year in the nation. He ended up being top 10 draft pick, and he made the playoffs every year and in the league except for his last year.
Great player.
Yeah,
Really good podcast too. We'd
Yeah.
love to get him on here at some point.
that
That's
would
a
be
dream.
amazing.
That's on the book. I'm all over the
I have a bucket list, and Bob Does Sports is at the top, but JJ's
up
on
there.
there.
And plus,
JJ's on
like
there.
JJ,
Duncan
I
is on
wish
there.
they would just let JJ do more of the games, because his
Yes.
game like
He's great
commentary is
he's great on
awesome.
the mic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's really good.
I'm gonna get more sidetracked here real quick. That's
Okay.
the bucket list. But we were in the airport. And it was me, Jay, and my other teammate Austin. Austin Smaley, the goat. Shout out to Austin. He's having
Shout
a
out
kid.
to Austin.
He's
Congratulations,
having a
Austin.
kid.
He's having a kid. Yeah, baby boy.
Congrats,
Austin
Austin.
have had
Ooh,
plenty of
baby
Baby boy
boy.
on the way.
Mm.
Yeah, we were talking about like
I'm gonna need more of this, Austin.
Austin is an also avid, brilliantly dumb podcast listener. Bob Does Sports guy, and he goes, there's a short list of people in this world that if I saw in public, I would ask for a picture, and Bob is at the top of that list. And I was like, I'm absolutely behind that.
That's a great
video you
take.
guys sent in the group text, I was crying. I need to tap in because that was
Yeah, bro,
hilarious.
you gotta follow him.
D to San Francisco.
Bro sailed the sand shot. Sailed it.
Oh my god, bro! This
Alright,
episode is
sorry,
all
I had
over
to
the
say
place.
that.
But I love it. I love it. That's why
Hey.
I know we're really just having a real conversation right now. This is why I wanted to do us three every other week, so like the listeners can really get to know us because we could really sit here and have these conversations forever.
We
Like,
have these
just
conversations all the time. Like I tell myself I'm gonna go to bed, and then the group chat starts firing, and then like I'm up till 2
I had
a.m.
to, I had to put it on D&D the other night when I told you guys was going to bed. Like I was
But yeah, me
knocked
and
out,
Tom are
you,
going crazy about the Warrior game.
I was like,
Bro,
bro, I gotta go
oh
to
my
bed.
gosh. Well, that game was absurd.
Absurd. This guy Jordan Poole.
No, he's
Okay, like let's move on.
It's good back
so
cut to win the game.
yeah, so the main thing that I really want to talk about, and it's kind of where this is all like encompassing. So, and this is gonna hit like right at Tommy's heart here. So, athletic families. My question is it all genetics? Is it environmental? Is it developmental? Or is it just a coincidence? Right? Because for this is for Luke. The Korda sisters are two of the best golfers in the entire world. Nelly Korda has been number one. Her swing is as good as it can get. She's like a robot. It's amazing. But then it kind of popped up on me because their younger brother, Sebastian Korda, just lost in the quarters of the Australian Open, but he's only 22 and he's ranked like 31st right now at 22 years old. And it's like I started doing some research and thinking like, okay, you have your two older sisters are two of the best golfers, and now you're becoming one of the best tennis players. But then to find out that his dad actually won the Aussie Open as a tennis player, and his mom was ranked as high as 26th. So it's like you can go back in history of like Darren Carlson. Both his parents were Olympic track athletes. Now, does that translate to basketball? I don't know, but it's like, what do you guys think? I have my own opinion, but like, it really had me thinking. Especially, again, like I have two daughters. They're very, very young, and they're too young to play sports. But like, there's no reason why I feel like I can't create a blueprint for them for whatever sport they choose to like be really, really good. I don't know if they're going to be ranked or whatever, any of that stuff, but like, I feel like there's a specific like blueprint to doing it, but there's also different ways to get there. Cause like the way Tiger's dad did it was like, maybe
Yeah.
not ideal, but like it got it done.
but yeah, that's probably
I'll let Luke answer first, but I just want to add on to what Jared said. Wagner, the high schooler, his dad was a McDonald's All-American, and his grandpa was a McDonald's All-American. That's 3 generations of
DeJuan Wagner was cold. I'm telling
Yeah.
you right now.
But just like going off of what Jared said, like I don't know, Luke can hit on it first, but that's crazy. 3 generations of McDonald's All-Americans is insane. I think it's the first time ever.
Has to be.
Yeah.
So I think it's hard to say it's one thing because I genuinely think it's a combination of it all. Like obviously I think there's some genetic component to why that happens. Like whatever is athletic is gonna portion of it or whatever is gonna get passed down. Like you even in like non-successful athletic families, you see like if someone's a freak athlete, their kids are probably gonna be pretty freak athletes as well, even if they use it or not. So I think part of that is yes. 2, environmental. If you grow up around that standard, then you're gonna like that's gonna be the norm. You know what I mean? So like if that's what you're used to and that's what you're grown up around, like
So
that's
that's the Steph factor.
like his
Steph.
dad being
Steph
a
and
shooter,
Steph.
like yeah, both of them, their dad being a shooter in the NBA, like that was normal. Like that was like, oh, this is what goes on. Like this is what everyone's dad's doing. Like as a kid, you probably don't even like realize what's really going on. You know what I mean? That's just what you think you do. And then so that's why I think it's environmental. And then 3, developmental. Like the older generation that is feeding the younger generation, like they knew what steps they took, so obviously they can funnel their kids to the right ways to get things done. Now obviously times change and like the route that you got to take is different, especially if it's different sports like you said. But I think like you said, there's a blueprint to it to an extent, and if you already did it before, like you can trust what you're giving them is something substantial. So I think it's really a combination of it all. I don't think it's coincidence at all.
Yeah. No
Yeah,
coincidence. So but then what? So before Tom answers, so then what happened with MJ's kids then?
I think
I think
that's
that got
that's too high of a bar.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it was the
Same thing
pressure.
with Gretzky, even though his son played a different sport.
yeah. I mean, his son-in-law was also like, not that they're related, but shout out
Yeah.
to DJ. But what?
I don't even know who that is. What are you talking about?
Dustin Johnson, he was number 1 in the world golfer.
And that's who's
His
son-in-law?
daughter's it's
Gretzky.
Gretzky's daughter's husband.
Oh wow, yeah, that doesn't
Yeah.
mean anything in this conversation.
No, but I mean, just like athletic family, one way or another. But no, I think when you're that great and you're seen as the greatest, it's probably that's a lot
too
of pressure
tough.
to succumb to.
Okay, go ahead, Tom. We don't want to cut you off.
I,
my bad.
I honestly I don't even know.
I mean, Bronny just got named a McDonald's All-American, so what does that mean? We had this conversation the other day.
I mean, I think that's a whole nother conversation. We could have a James family conversation, and that could go way different.
That's
ways.
genetics.
Yeah, those kids.
Luke hit
Yeah.
it perfectly. I think it's a combination of everything. It's not one thing greater than the other. Like genetics play a role, but I think environment plays just as big of a role as genetics do. Like obviously you got to be athletic, but like I guess for me I can say growing up like I had really good um I had really athletic cousins. Like my cousins were all high level tennis players. Like my oldest cousin played tennis at Stanford, and then I'm way younger than them. And then the next one came along and he played tennis at Harvard, and the next one came along and he had Harvard and had big name schools. He played at BYU, like, and I just saw the path of athletics in my family, and like I was like I just like looked up. I looked up to them so much, like, oh, I want to be like really good at a sport. Like they were kind of honestly the initial driving force for me to be playing sports so heavily, even though I didn't get into tennis. But like that was like I think for that as an environment. And then my sister Ashley, shout out to Ashley, before she stopped playing soccer, she was really good at soccer in high school. So like I just saw that and
Shout
that
out Ashley.
yeah, that's definitely the environment part of it. And then obviously the development, but I think the development just goes to the mindset. Like if you want to be great, you'll find a way to be great.
On a side note, big shout out to Allison too. We don't want to leave Allison out.
Of course.
Yeah.
We'll definitely be getting a text about this. Thanks, Jay.
Yeah, love you, Allie. I am the catalyst of that conversation.
Speaking of, she said that I won starting 5 2 weeks ago. I want to say, so I never gave her a thank you for that.
She says that almost every other week. She just
Allie's yeah.
She
Yeah,
likes
let's
Luke.
go. I think we should get into the starting 5 though.
Hold on. I have
Oh,
I
you
have
got one
one
more?
thing. Yeah.
Before
No,
we-
I have one thing about that.
Yeah.
And it's a little different than you guys. That's why the only reason why I feel like I need to bring it up. I think it's 95% environmental.
Yeah.
I think genetics have a very small portion to do with it. And the reason I feel that way is because with modern science and with the way that we train athletes now, I think that I can maximize, like obviously basketball, yeah, being tall helps, right? But just because my dad is tall doesn't mean I'm going to be tall, right? And just because like I end up being tall doesn't mean I'm going to be good. So to me, looking at it, I think it's almost 100% environmental, because it's more about the type of learning process you create for them to be good. And I think that's where, like, right or wrong, I think that's where Tiger's dad like really excelled, right? I think that's where like the Williams, like Venus, like if you haven't seen King Richard, you should 100% watch King Richard. That dude's my idol as a dad. Is like
That's gonna be you, Jared.
that's 100% gonna be me. I've already started writing it, so my manifesto is on the way. But
Great.
like think about it, like that. I'll just use that. Like I don't want to go too far, but like, dude is from Compton, never played tennis in his life, and he created 2 of the greatest tennis players of all time.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's actually that's a really good point.
probably the greatest tennis player of all time with no tennis background.
Yeah,
And no tennis like body or anything. So it's like, to me, it's all about the environment you create for them. Because if if I want you to be really good at this or that or this sport or whatever, like if I'm better at creating the environment for learning and growing in that sport, then you're going to be better off and you're going to be more well prepared to like whatever it is, like handle adversity or like excel or just any of that. So I think most of it's environmental because the other thing about kids that I've learned more in the recent years is that like they're the most adaptable like living things you can possibly find. And it's like if I set things up in a certain way and lead them or like push them to a certain answer or like solution, like they will figure it out because they're so adaptable. And so I think like again, maybe like with Jordan, we talk about Jordan, like and I'm just speaking, I don't know for a fact, like maybe he didn't create like that environment, maybe he didn't have as close a relationship, that's like what people say and blah blah blah. Whereas you look at the flip side, look at like LeBron James' kids, like he's obviously super involved, he's in their lives a lot and like doing all this stuff and like helping them, kind of create the environment to like have the success. Because it's not like Bronny's athletic, it's not like Bronny's the most athletic.
How tall is he?
He's like 6'3".
Yeah.
He's pretty damn athletic.
I know, but I'm saying like he's not the most athletic
No,
person.
he's real
Yeah.
athletic.
I
dude.
mean,
No.
yeah. I mean, you're comparing him to high school Braun, which again, that's I think.
I'll give
Okay,
you the
but-
I'll give you the height part of the genetics because Bronny is not 6'8". So
Right, but what I'm saying is that like he's growing into his body and all that, but it's like I just feel like the environment's the most important part, and I think that's probably especially with like what we brought up in the beginning, the Corda sisters and Sebastian, the brother, like they all played individual sports. Their parents were really good at individual sports, so they understood the mental dynamic and how to like set up the environment to be successful in that individual realm, I guess. So that's just interesting part that I
All
thought.
this tennis talk. I will mention the Australian Open Finals on Sunday, and I'll be
Who you
tapped
got?
in to watch
Who you
Novak
got? Who you got?
Djokovic win his 10th Australian Open.
Wow.
Good play. Good play. That's a
Tsitsipas
great
is
call.
really good, but he's not beating.
Have you? Hey, I started watching Breaking Point on Netflix. Very good.
I need to watch it. I need to watch
Dude, it's good. I'm on
it.
episode 2.
I really want to watch the one about Nick Kyrgios because he's
That's the
fast.
first one.
He's
That's the first one.
fascinating.
It's a cool episode.
Dude.
The one I'm watching now is like actually the one I'm watching now is about Fritz. It's he's the 3rd episode.
Me and my teammates were talking about tennis, and we were talking about Nick Kyrgios, and I pulled up the video of him. I don't know what tournament it was at, where he takes his water bottle and throws it at the judge. Have you guys seen this?
No.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
judge is like in there. The judge is in there, whatever. And Nick Kyrgios takes the water bottle and throws it full speed, and then the judge like looks at him and he's like, "What? Like, what was that? Like, what are you doing?" And Nick Kyrgios just goes, "It slipped. What? It slipped. It slipped." And he just keeps saying it over and over again. And then he goes,
Nah,
He goes, "I was taking a drink and it slipped." And he literally,
He's nuts, bro.
you
No,
watch
he's
the
insane.
video and
He's
he's
insane.
winded up and everything.
Bro, like just wait. I don't want to tell you what happens in the episode, but just wait till you watch the episode. This dude, you're like, bro, what is wrong with this guy?
No, he's insane. He's talented, but he's insane.
Yeah, you're probably not long for the sport.
Man, that was some good combo. I'm not gonna lie. That was fun. But we do got to get in the starting 5. I know I talked about it, but we've been brainstorming a lot with the end of football season coming up. We've had like a few different football related starting 5s, so you might have a couple back to back here. I don't know.
I'm excited
No,
for this one though.
yeah, no promises. But tonight we do have NFL mascots starting 5. Jared's excited. You can go, man. If you want to.
No, I
if you
want
want
to go last.
All right,
No,
Tom,
I'm just
you
kidding.
want to go first?
I can go first if you want me to go
You
first.
do this every single time.
No, I'll go first. I'll go first. All right, Tom, you want me to go or are you gonna go?
Floor is yours, Waters.
Yeah, this guy's
All right.
excited.
I'm excited. I just think this is just like there's just so many ways you can go.
One wine glass, and here he goes with NFL mascots.
go ahead,
Definitely
go
not
ahead.
wine. There's a little bit more than one.
My fault.
I mean, I'm a grown up, so.
And we're not.
Tommy technically is not. All right. Okay.
My eyes, you are, Tom.
Yeah. I mean, I was just saying by the legal standards.
Okay, Johnny Law, let's go.
If you want to keep talking about me, we can switch the starting five.
Yeah.
Starting 5 Tom moments. All
Whole
right.
nother
There's
episode.
a lot of those.
NFL mascots. Okay. At my point guard, I need someone real cerebral. I need the smartest guy on the floor. I need someone that's not afraid to attack the Sharks. Give me Dolphins, the point guard.
Interesting play. For sure, an interesting play.
Okay.
This is one of the
I mean,
smartest animals in the animal kingdom. Like,
Tom and I looked at each other over Zoom like, yo.
come on. Like, I need intelligence at the point guard, and they're going to have the ball in their hands. Like, why not pick a dolphin? It's one of the smartest animals alive.
There's got to be like a name for him, though. Like it was the Give Me Dolphins.
Oh, Miami Dolphins? I was supposed to say the whole thing?
I mean, like I feel like mascots have a name. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh,
So you want like the specific mascot name?
no, I'm
I don't
not
have-
doing that.
Yeah,
I don't have that.
either.
Dang, you guys
Tom,
suck.
wow, Tom really did his research. Maybe
Well,
Tom
I
should have
did
gone.
too, but I mean, yeah.
No,
All right,
I
who's
don't
your
got
shooting
that.
guard? Who's your shooting
All
guard?
right. Shooting guard. Okay. For his namesake. Some people called MJ the Black Cat. I need someone very agile, someone that's willing to put the ball on the ground, rise above the defense, finish with finesse. Give me Panthers, the shooting guard.
Good pick.
Okay.
Good pick.
Small forward. Just the way the NBA works right now, I need switchable defenders. I need people that can play multiple positions. I need someone that can really dig in, like dig in and really lock up. Give me the 49ers.
Okay. Okay.
At the power forward, the Giannis of my team, towering over everyone else, dominating the game. Even LeBron. LeBron plays some small power forward. Give me Titans at power forward.
Okay.
At the center, this guy's just pure rim runner. If he gets downhill, he's taking you out. He's dunking on you with a lot of authority, a lot of power. Give me Bills at the center.
Okay.
Straight rim runner.
Buffalo
rim
Bills.
to rim.
Yeah. All right. Well, I went about this differently, obviously.
Tom, honestly, mine's like I'm getting the names for him right now, but mine works that way too. So you can go ahead and I can follow you up.
Yeah, I literally like, yeah. All right. Well, my backcourt, I need a dynamic duo. I want a Splash Brothers-esque backcourt, two guys that'll just take care of business and just rain from downtown. That's why I've got my point guard as Freddie the Falcon, the Atlanta Falcons, and I've got my shooting guard as Big Red. For those who don't know, Big Red, that's the Arizona Cardinals mascot. All right. I don't want the
Love
Falcon
this.
and the Cardinal. I want Freddie Falcon and Big Red. I'm going to take this a little more detailed than Waters. At the three, here's a guy. He's a 3-level scorer. I mean, I need to think of something new to say, but this is just what I need at the 3. He's a 3-level scorer. He gets the job done. And I mean, he's cheering on Kirk Thuggins. So why not? Give me Victor the Viking. All right. At the 4.
Is he a fraud?
No, he's not a fraud. Victor's
Because you
a
wear the chain.
Victor is legit tough. Okay.
Okay, I believe
He
you.
plays in a dome. Give me a break.
He's legit tough. All right. At the 4, I don't think much more needs to be said. This guy's an absolute psychopath. That's what we need as our 4. Give me Steely McBeam. Jared, if you don't know, that's the Pittsburgh Steelers mascot.
I didn't know. See, that's why I didn't
Steely
even go that
McBeam.
route.
Steely McBeam.
I like that.
And at the 5, this guy's just patrolling the skies. All right. He's sending everything away at the rim. He's a lob threat. He's getting up high and throwing it down hard. And he's probably goaltending a few times, but that's okay. It's the effort that counts. Give me Poe, the Raven.
The Raven. Wow.
So you got a lot of foul in your 5. A lot of fouls.
No.
Yeah, fouls. Birds. You have 3
Fouls?
birds.
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't
like
understand the fouls reference.
No, you're good.
Foul. That is another word for bird.
Yeah,
AV.
he's-
Foul.
Wow, I'm learning something new every day. I literally
guy-
didn't know that.
wise Jared is. You
Come
know,
on, man.
I thought you were
Um,
calling my lineup a bunch of hacks.
No, not FOUL, FOWL. Foul.
Am I dumb for not knowing that?
That's
I've
all
never
right,
heard
man.
it either. It's fine.
Okay.
He's beyond our years, bro.
This is
Sorry.
like this. Here comes analogy waters.
Yeah. My play on words was
lead the
elite.
horse
I'm
to the
just
water,
saying.
but I can't make it drink.
How many times have we heard that one, Luke?
Not from me.
That's one of my favorite quotes, actually.
That's not mine. Every blind squirrel.
No, I
finds an
could
acorn is mine.
in my text right now and find Jared saying that.
I definitely have never said that. Mine is every blind squirrel finds an even blind squirrels find acorns.
Yeah,
That's
he's told
mine.
me that often
Yeah.
when I hit a random rager.
Yeah.
All right, man. So I pivoted.
You can go either way. Maybe I did it
No,
wrong.
because
but
mine was like 3 out of the 5 were like that, and 2 weren't. But I just switched, so we're good. So at the point guard, I want someone who's real elusive. And you know, during the holiday season, you got Elf on the Shelf. You know, that's an elusive being. You never know where you're gonna find the elf.
where are you going with
Give me Brownie the elf, the Browns mascot, as my point guard. I think
this? Their
Brownie
mascot is an
super,
elf?
You haven't
Yeah,
seen
it's
the
an
No,
elf?
elf.
their mascot is a dog.
No,
Yeah,
it's an
but the
elf.
Well, I think they have multiple because I don't think the Browns really know what
Well,
they
that's
The
are.
elf was
stupid.
literally the middle of the field.
In the
this
middle of
year.
the field. Yep.
Bro,
Brownie
what?
the
They're
elf. Get
they're
freed
dog,
up, Jared.
Come on.
Well,
We
they're the
can look it
dog
up.
pound. They're the dog pound too. Yeah, I think you're right. I think we're both right. But Brownie the elf, give me him at the point guard. At the shooting guard, I need some money. I need some money at the shooting guard. I need someone who's going for the gold. The 49ers, give me Sourdough Sam at the shooting guard.
I
said he's
like the
going for
digging.
gold.
You got to dig, man. You got to dig in.
Hey, Jared, I like my pick better. Like, okay, cool.
Great pick.
But yeah, he's going for money. He's going for gold. You know what I'm saying? At the small forward, I need a heady defender, on my perimeter. I need to Rampage the Ram. This guy's locking down my perimeter. He's a staunch defender. He's really
Respect
doing his thing.
Rampage's game.
Yeah,
Definitely,
100%.
he got cut in tryouts, but I respect his game.
No, he came late to mine, so he really had to earn his spot, and that's something that won me over though. But at the 4, I have the same as Jared. Unfortunately, I have the Titans. T-Rack is his name, the Titans.
Yeah,
But
that's a
I
great
chose this
pick
for
at the 4.
I chose this for a different reason, and this is the one that wasn't part of the mascots actually. Because do we know who a Titan was? I know Tommy knows who was a Titan. Thanos was a Titan, and this guy was an absolute being in his universe. So, man, if
So
you have
that's Giannis.
Thanos at your 4, exactly. So give me
Yeah.
the Titan
All
at the
right.
4.
Great pick, man. Great pick.
And then at the 5, I thought Tom was gonna steal it when he started talking about his 5, but I went a different bird route. I went with someone who is a real rim protector. And he comes downhill fast. I want Blitz the Seahawk as my 5. I think that's something.
Oh, you
where,
guys have an avian affliction.
what are you talking about? I'm just telling you,
Jared,
Blitz the
shut
Seahawk.
up.
It's only Jamal Adams down there.
It's a good pick.
All right.
I'm just
Hey,
giving you a
thanks,
good
man.
play on words here.
All right, so my walk-on pick. This one's been taken already, but it wasn't taken correctly. I took this walk-on pick because I think if you saw his name, you wouldn't be very intimidated. You would think,
no, Luke, don't do it.
you think this guy's not about his business.
Luke,
He's not
don't
here to
do
get
it.
it up.
He has
I
the
need
best
Sir
name
Purr.
No,
That's my walk-on pick. Sir Purr, man. He's an incredible pick.
Wait, who is he?
It's the Panther. Sir
Wait,
Purr.
how can you pick if he's already in a starting 5? He can't be a walk-on.
Yeah, but you just said the Panthers. I took Sir Purr, and apparently Tommy did too.
That's exactly what I was going with. Sir Purr. And you look
Man.
at Sir Purr, and you don't expect much.
You're not gonna expect much, but this guy, he
Sir
shows up.
Per, like SIR space PUR.
Yes.
Fine.
2 R's actually.
Fine. I'm gonna go in a
I
different
roll the
direction.
R a
I'm
little
gonna
bit.
audible.
Purr.
I'm gonna
Let's get the
audible here.
Tom.
I'm gonna
You're-
audible
you-
here, but
way
I'm
to
also
think
gonna
on
go
your
with the
feet,
big-
PG.
I'm gonna audible here, but
brother.
I'm also gonna go with the big cat. You know, and
I almost put them
got
in
a
my
great
5.
name
Didn't
as
make
well.
it though.
He's got a great name as
He
well.
didn't make it.
And honestly, I'm doing it solely because of the name. Give me Jackson DeVille, the Jaguars mascot.
Oh, nice. I was thinking you were going a different direction.
I actually like that
Jackson
a lot.
Jackson DeVille,
That's
That
what he
is a
goes
great
by.
name. That actually is a
I like
great
that.
name. I like that.
You know, here's a guy that is cheering for a team of a quarterback who just took his first Saturday loss, and this is just a special. And it's a special cat.
Your
at the end of the
obsession
day.
with Trevor Lawrence's record on Saturdays is
We're gonna see
hilarious.
Tom in a few years with a Trevor Lawrence type hairdo.
Yeah, I like that. There you go, Tom.
I wouldn't rule that out. I wouldn't rule that out.
I would
Yeah.
support it.
Tom, whatever you feel is comfortable.
Jackson
That's what we care
DeVille.
about, so
Jackson
pick.
DeVille.
Great pick,
Great
Tom. I
pick.
like it. That's a really good name. So my walk-on pick. Anytime we're in a bind, anytime we really need to like win a game, like we're playing somebody, we're the underdogs. You know, walk-ons are underdogs. They're not expecting much. If I need to steal a game, give me the Steelers. That's my walk-on.
Anticlimactic for sure.
Yeah,
He hated on us for doing that, and I literally had Steely McBeam as my starting four.
Stealing
What?
beefs.
I figured I didn't know I didn't know that was in the play, but once I was in the play, it was like, you know, there are the Chargers, and I felt like I like the Steelers better. At
Yeah,
Just keep
I feel
hating on Steely
bad.
McBeam, all right?
I feel bad about the Sir Purr debacle.
That's so funny.
I can't believe his name is
Bro.
Sir Purr.
Jacksonville DeVille or Jackson DeVille, like that's like right there though, Tom. That's like it's gonna be a tough race
Sir
between you
Purr
guys.
is so high level.
So special.
Sir Purr. Who comes up with that stuff, man? Jesus.
Apparently, the Panthers
No.
marketing team. Yeah, man. Jared, I think the
All
floor is
right,
yours.
Edgar
bud.
Allan Poe.
Oh, you are not ready for this one, Tom. This one's gonna hit hard at the heart here. When me and Keese raid Luke and Tommy in this 2v2,
Pause.
I'll think back to those 50 chips a night. And that's what got me right.
I give it like a 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah. Tommy's mad because I made a play on the Raiders, and that's his team, and they're bad.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. That flew over my head.
Yeah, it went
Nah.
over my head too.
It's all right. Like I said, not everybody has the gift.
This is a little anticlimactic. I'm not gonna lie. Damn.
Right.
It's all right.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
it's gonna be a little bit how the match is gonna go as well.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna be a
Speaking of
be a boring
golf,
match.
golf attire. I don't know if you guys noticed my hoodie tonight. Shout out to Roback. You know, you can go
Link
ahead and click
bio,
that link in
link
the
in bio.
bio. 10%
Is that
off.
waterproof, though?
They do have waterproof options. All
right, cool.
This one isn't. This is more of just a comfort hoodie. Nice stitching up here though. I threw
Got
it
it.
on after I got home today after my workout.
Send me the
great,
link.
man.
Send me the link.
It's in our link tree. That's a horrible optic for the brand right there. He
No,
said,
I
"Send
want
me
you
the
to
link."
send me the link of the waterproof.
Okay, I got you. You want the waterproof boy? I got
Yeah, I
you.
want the specific. You know, weather's tough out here on the course.
I mean, yeah, it's
Right,
been nice
right.
recently, but right. All right, fellas. I think it's getting close to bedtime.
Yeah, it's time to wrap it up. Episode 26. Thank you, everyone, for listening in.
I feel like
fellas are
I'll-
laughing.
I feel like there's got to be a low-key an apology as well. Like, this was insane. I loved it, but it was
Yeah,
I
we
feel
went
like
overboard.
Tom
we might
and
have to
the-
cut some out.
Yeah. Tom is not feeling the Raiders play, huh? Got it. Sorry, Tom.
I don't know.
That was too close to the
my
heart.
headspace just isn't there. Like I was expecting a good poem, and Jared just dropped that, whatever that was.
All right, Tom. Hey, man, it's not my fault your team's ass.
okay.
This is a family rated program.
Yeah,
Jared.
this guy. Couple
They
of
I feel like
are.
we need to get Cece on here more so he can behave.
There's been a lot of requests for CC as a
There has
guest.
been.
There
That's
has
right.
been.
A lot
Shout
of
out
requests.
Cece. She's probably
Yeah.
dreaming about
It's
God
like
knows what right now.
She
The
had
pod.
like a
The pod.
15-second clip. Might be the best 15 seconds of the pod so far.
That was
I feel
really
like.
good.
Got
That was really
got
good
a lot
stuff.
of reactions.
Did we really?
Yeah, a lot of people were asking for her back.
All
Yeah,
right.
we should bring her back.
We can bring her back. It's not a problem.
Let's definitely do that.
This is a little late for her bedtime, but
Yeah.
Figure it out.
when she's the next Nelly Corda, she can be on all
Yeah.
the time.
Good combos today. A little extended, but that happens. Sorry. But I think it's about that time for your favorite walk-ons to walk out.